Greetings, Commanders. Welcome to episode 36 of the UK's #1 podcast on Marvel Strike Force, the MSF pod. This podcast covers everything that's happening in the world of Marvel Strike Force, which is a mobile hero collector game available on iTunes, Google Play, BlueStacks, and wherever else that you'll play your mobile games. We are the lads from 4Play Gaming. You'll find us on YouTube underneath that name. We are on Instagram and Twitter under the name 4P Gaming, and you'll find the MSF pod on iTunes, Google, and wherever else that you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and tell all of your Alliance mates about us. Every week our numbers go up and it's down to your support. So massive thanks to the community for listening. We're just three guys that love Strike Force, so it's great to share that with people. Introducing the crew today. Well, unfortunately, it's just me. The guys are currently away on an event and there's a lot to cover this week. So I figured I'd jump in and give you guys your weekly content. So yeah, bear with me for this week and the gentlemen will hopefully be back with us next week. So in regards to good pulls and things this week, upgrades, red stars and all of that, the only real exciting thing that's happened for me, I upgraded Minerva up to Gear Tier 15, which is cool. So that's 3 of 5 now for my Cosmic team for Dark Dimension. I haven't been able to progress any further, obviously, because I haven't got the 5 characters. So yeah, I also got Bishop up to 5 red stars, which is cool. So he's 5 red, which is great. My Astonishing X-Men are getting me through a lot of content in the game, which is great. I love that team. So yeah. So what I figured we'd do is we go into the Tuesday's blog post. I'll read through it and I'll give you my opinions on it. All of the sort of major talking points I will carry over to next week, and I'll discuss that with Adam and Diggs from 4Play in episode 37. So the 2021 second half preview starts off like so. Greetings, Commanders, Marvel Strike Force fans. Greetings, Marvel Strike Force fans. There's certainly been a lot happening with the game and the Marvel Strike Force universe in the first half of 2021. We've also been spending a lot of time reading feedback from you, the players, and using that to make the experience with MSF even better. Today, we want to pull back the curtain a bit and talk about some of the content and features that we're working on for the second half of 2021 and provide a bit of preview into what we're planning in early 2022. Please keep in mind that dates can shift and that everything mentioned here is generally subject to change. The player journey. Behind the scenes, the dev team have been talking about several updates which will happen in succession over the coming months. We came to call this the player journey, as we're metaphorically setting players down a path that has checkpoints and goals. So as you read this section, keep in mind that these topics are best looked at as a narrative rather than an individual basis. So T2 ISO 8 Blue, we recently released T2 ISO 8 into the game as rewards for the Doom raids and some limited time offers. While this is in itself not news, is essentially the beginning of the journey and leads directly to the subsequent chapters. So play level 85, we're all expecting this. Get ready to earn XP and improve your commander level up to level 85. We made mention of this in a recent blog post and have plans to further infuse more gold into the monthly economy to help ensure your progression feels good. Feels good being the operative words here. On top of the recent infusion into the gold economy, leveling up should feel satisfying. It does feel satisfying, but when you're getting Hulk shards, when you've already maxed Hulk, doesn't really help. And when you're getting 25 cores for hitting milestones, doesn't feel great. So hopefully they do address that. As it's been about a year since the cap was raised to level 80, the improvement will assist in getting through some of those challenges that are particularly daunting. Unlike the level cap increase last year, the new intention of gear tier will come at a later date. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, look, the game's always going to go up. The progression level is always going to increase. Play level 85 is fine. I just hope we're going to get something better than what we normally get for hitting milestones, because it is disappointing getting 25 cores here and there for, you know, logging in for 480 days or whatever it is. Yeah, feels bad. Hopefully they can improve that. You know, you want to you want to get to 85 to get to the next level of content, you know, the new gear tier and things like that. But at the same time, it's like you've got to want to do it as well. You know, it has to be something, you know, like you want to feel good going over the finish line. You know what I mean? Okay, Orange Gear economy update. We will be increasing the availability of Orange Gear pieces, paying particular attention to the unique pieces as they have been rather hard to come by. You are not kidding. So hopefully that means complete pieces and, you know, the stuff that's an absolute nightmare to get a hold of, like Gravitonium or, you know, whatever it seems like you need to get your character up to the higher gear tier pieces, the gear tier levels. Gear tier 16, the next level of power will be available to a roster with gear tier 16. Instead of it being another iteration of Orange Gear, we're breaking we're breaking with tradition and starting the next color of gear, of the next gear tier, and it's going to be teal. By moving to the next color tier, we can increase availability to certain orange gear and help players get to features like Dark Dimension 4 faster. Awesome. The teal tier will also have a slightly simplified structure to make it easier to track which pieces you need in the future. Now, that's great. I always feel like you could make things a lot easier if there was like a checklist system, or like you could go and look into, like, let's say you need, I don't know, like all bio pieces for like gear tier 15. Like, it'd just be great if you could set that in your roster, like just as a clicking option. You know what I mean? Oh, I need this piece, this piece. Oh, I've got 50 of those. I've got 100 of those. But I get it. It's a frustration marketing thing, you know, like they want you to run out of the pieces so that you spend the money. So I get it. But it'd be great to have something like that, like a checklist feature, so you can, you know, check on your resources and upgrade them accordingly. Doom Raid 2. This will be one of the primary ways to earn gear tier 16 teal. The ISO 8 requirements for characters to enter will be T2 ISO 8 blue, and the trait requirements will mirror Doom Raid 1 exactly. So you can build on the same characters and teams. The rewards available here will grant progress towards T2 ISO 8, but the exact details are still being worked on. Now, people are annoyed about this because in theory, Dark Dimension, well, the next thing that's coming up, Dark Dimension 5, is basically locked behind the Doom Raid. Now, that's a big problem, not so much at the moment for our alliance because we're all coming up together, but for the people that have already reached the end game and that have already beaten Dark Dimension 4, they're like, well, we need to have, you know, we need to be ISO 8 blue, you know, everything and all of that. So it's definitely a problem. It's definitely an issue for the community, and it's going to be a real pain in the backside recruiting these new players and stuff for your teams. Like, you know, there's going to be a lot of alliance hopping. It's going to separate alliances like the Silver Surfer debacle and when they first brought in ISO tier 1 ISO blue. So yeah, this has really sort of shattered the community in a way, because people are like, well, you know, get wrecked, and other people are like, well, look, come on, like, you know, I've been in this alliance for, you know, the entire time I played this game. I want to stay with my friends. I don't want to have to leave to do the next Dark Dimension to get the new character or whatever. So yeah, I mean, the first sentence, this will be one of the primary ways to earn gear tier 16 pieces. So I mean, one of, hopefully you'll still be able to earn gear tier pieces. Well, I mean, I'm willing to bet everything I own on the fact that those pieces are going to be, you know, for sale, and they'll also be in the supply store as well. So that's why they're increasing the gold. You're going to have to pay the additional, you know, for these new pieces. So yeah, basically from now on, it just means whenever there's an event and they're giving away these pieces, you're just going to have to complete the milestones, which is something I psychotically do anyway. But yeah. Okay, so Dark Dimension 5. The first 4 chapters of Dark Dimension have been leading up to this moment. The epic 5th chapter of Dark Dimension will have a requirement of gear tier 16, of course it does, and certain character traits. There may be some additional requirements, which is still to be finalized, and we will share full details at a later date. Now that's really interesting. I wonder what that means. Should you succeed in this monumental quest, you will harness the incomparable power of the cosmic conqueror Dormammu to add to your roster. With this concept art and the final version of the character, could change. And there he is, looking looking fantastic, to be honest. Looks like I mean, that armor looks like something out of World of Warcraft. It's very cool. But yeah, you know, they're very clever. Dormammu's character art, you know, work in progress. But yeah, at the moment, I'm excited to get to Dark Dimension 5. I mean, you know, I'm nowhere near finishing Dark Dimension 4 and getting Dooms. So yeah, still excited. Anyway, so obviously on the back of Dark Dimension 5 and, you know, the Doom Raid 2, they then mention alliances. So improvements. Alliance War. While this feature continues to be many players' favorite game mode, we understand the desire to keep things fresh with periodic updates. We recently ran a playtest with nearly 100 players to get feedback on some proposed changes to streamline the experience. The feedback provided by those players gave us some clearer direction on how to improve the experience, and we're implementing these changes in a second round of playtesting in the near future. With the second round of feedback, we should be able to make some meaningful updates to Alliance War in the coming months. Be sure to read our weekly Friday posts for more updates in the near future. So if you've been listening to our podcast for a couple of weeks, we have been discussing that certain content creators are in these play tests of new changes to Alliance War, which is exciting. It's going to be additional rooms and things like that, additional attacks, and then potentially ways to upgrade rooms and stuff like that. But it's all being worked on. Okay, the next thing they discuss is the Realtime Arena, which is an absolute dumpster fire for some people. Again, it's a good way to get pieces. For me, I just have to get to 100 every time, just because, again, it's you need those pieces, and yeah, it's just rude not to. So, Realtime Arena. This is another feature where we've been looking to streamline the experience. Here's a list of improvements we're looking at making in the coming months. So bullet point 1 was reducing the initial loading time from 160 seconds to 75 seconds. Oh my God, yes. Please. There's nothing more frustrating than, than just waiting for some idiot who's quit, or, waiting for someone to load in or whatever. 75 seconds is fine, literally, you could be pretty much cutting that in half, that load time. Perfect. Great. Make it happen. Second bullet point, bans will include role and origin traits in addition to individual characters. And that's cool. That might make it a little bit more different. And then bullet point 3 was making objectives based on KOs and wins rather than ability traits. Again, that's good. But I think when it first came out, KOs was the main thing, and then they changed it up and everyone's like, this is horrible. So hopefully going back to KOs is a good thing. It just means, everyone's going to be using their best teams, but hopefully the role and origin traits and the individual character bans might help things out. And bullet point 4 is a bit later, we're planning an update that may include improvements to how progress is made towards the RTA Battle Pass and improved matchmaking. Okay. We're very interested to see how this changes your experience, and we would very much like to hear your feedback when the updates are live. We'll continue to monitor the feature, and there could be additional changes in the future. Now, I don't know anything about game development and things like that, but if they're actively putting people on a server to do Alliance War and things like that, why aren't they getting people to test Realtime Arena? Why don't you get like a core group of people, doesn't have to be envoys, like people that love the game. There's plenty of people on Reddit that love that game. Just get them in the Realtime Arena, get them repping out what could make it better. Utilize the community. They're vocal enough. Like, it's time people start putting their money where their mouth is. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of people hate Realtime Arena. I don't mind it. It's one of those things. Adam is the same. Like, while he's watching a film, he'll just hit auto and go through it. Now, if that's an enjoyable experience, fine. Like, I really like the what was the mode called? The mode where you basically the draft mode that was there for a while. That was really fun because it's actually, thought-provoking, and sort of, you actually had to engage your brain. So if there was some way, I know they talked about it a while ago about bringing like a tournament or something where you actually have to draft characters and, use your brain, like that'd be wonderful. But look, any changes to Realtime Arena, reducing the initial load timer from 160 to 75 seconds is massive. Like, for screen time alone, that's absolutely brilliant. And, if they can in another 6 months get that down to 30 seconds, then we'll be super happy with that. Okay, economy. We've made numerous improvements to the availability of resources across the board in the first half of 2021, and we'll continue this trend in the second half of the year. We want to ensure that your character roster progression feels steady and rewarding. Can't argue with that. As long as they keep making changes, that's great. Little things like the change to the payday event where you're getting I literally today did it was payday today, so I recorded this on Saturday in the UK, and I got my mercenaries to 6 stars, and I think you get 1 million. Well, I think you get like 3 million for the first time completion, and then you get, obviously, you only get 3 cracks at it per time, but the subsequent 2 other times you can attack, I got like 1 million per one. So now mercenaries are a priority, because I want to get to 7 stars to get the additional, it'd be great to do, every month to do payday and make, 3, 4, 5 million. That's amazing. I've spent it already, but you know, it's great to have that that feature. If they keep doing stuff like that, that's great. You know, I know Diggs' opinion is that the game should be steady, but it should be difficult at the same time. But like, you know, everyone wants resources, and if you can get more from progression that feels good, I'm all for it. Okay, quality of life improvements. Now, this is a big thing for a lot of people. Saved squads. Now, Cerebro hinted at this about 6 months ago, so it's great that they're finally coming. So let's get into it. Yeah, we mentioned this in the first preview blog for 2021, but it was slightly delayed. We're happy to announce that it's nearly here and we can share more details about it now. So in addition to the 40 squads players currently have, we'll be adding 4 tabs linked to game modes that have 40 saved squads in each tab, 160 in total. For newer players who need to reach certain player levels to fully unlock all the slots. So if you're level 40, 15 slots, level 71 plus 5, level 72 plus 10, and all the way up to 80. The 4 modes with tabs associated with them are Blitz, Raids, Arena, and Alliance Wars. Perfect, amazing. It's worth noting that this feature could scale with new game modes in the future, should the need arise. Now, that's great. Like, look, people have been screaming about this for, well, the entire time I've been playing the game. So it's great that it's finally coming to the game. Yeah, if you open the Save Squads menu while selecting a team in one of these modes, you will default by viewing the tab for that game mode. All tabs are available for use from any game mode. So cycling through Save Squads in Blitz will cycle through the squads saved to your Blitz tab. Amazing. That's great. I mean, I've got certain Blitz teams that I don't use in Alliance War, so I have to remember and change things up. And yeah, it's a nightmare. It's messy and it's unpleasant. It's like, you know, it's like a bag of pick and mix. Like I want everything regimented, and this is the perfect way to do it. Well done, you know, well done, Marvel Strike Force. That's amazing. Can't wait to see this come to the game. Another quality of life improvement that people have been clamming for and screaming about: auto basic combat. So this has been highly requested, and we've been definitely excited to deliver it. Turning on this advanced option will give you a second option in auto combat to instruct your characters to only use basic attacks. This will be especially helpful in modes like Raids, where you likely want to use saved special and ultimate abilities for later nodes that are more difficult. So perfect example of this is the symbiotes. Obviously, a lot of their attacks are, you know, great, but they've got long cooldowns and things like that. So when you get to the end of a node, especially, you know, in the higher Ultimus raids, if you, I mean, you know, some people, Adam, hit auto and just leave it, and you basically, you know, you cut your legs from under yourself, you know. With this game mode, you could hit auto for half of it, Adam, and then put it onto auto basic, where they just do the basic attacks and grind out the results. But then when you go into the next node, you can have all of your attacks ready to go and you will succeed further. Great addition. Content creators have been screaming for it the entire time I've been playing. So auto basic will be a perfect addition to this game, you know, for quality of life and things like that. I'm all for it. Can't wait to use it. Sort by character level. This is one that's fairly straightforward. In the character roster, you will be able to sort by character level, both ascending and descending. That's great. That's fine. That means we don't have to use the favorite option anymore. In theory, all of your highest characters will be at the top and all of your nerds will be at the bottom. So that's great. That's fine. And that can remove, you know, people can take off their tinfoil hats about favorite theory and versus theory and things like that. You know who you are. I'm one of them. Okay, and expanding the API features, we have been absolutely floored by the amount of interest we got regarding access to the game's API. We're expecting a few dozen inquiries, but ended up getting over 400 emails. We're currently working with a limited number of partners, but we want to expand access over time. One big thing, possibly the biggest thing players want from the API, is the ability to import their player roster into a platform where they can easily be viewed, shared by themselves and other players, especially their alliance. With this request in mind, we have made working on additional functionality of the API a priority. This is one of our many long-time commitments to supporting our awesome community of players. Now, again, another great feature. I'm all about it. That's great. Like little things like the MSF .gg that I use quite a lot now. You know, it's great to see. it's just a great feature, you know, to help you plan your roster sort of into the future. You know, when they add a new character, you can see what gear tier pieces they're going to need. For example, like Deathpool that's coming to the game, you're going to want to have, you know, you're going to want to know what gear tier pieces she's going to need, and you know, you can plan in time. Little things like that API really helps. You know, and again, for, you know, the future of the game, it's very important. I'm all about it. Good job. Let's see it. Okay, more costumes. This feature was introduced a few months ago, and we've read over a metric ton of requests from players for costumes for their favorite Marvel heroes and villains. We plan to release more costumes with each major version update, and we are excited to give you a preview of some more stellar outfits that you'll be able to add to your virtual closet in the near future. So you've got the Black Widow Taskmaster there, that does look very cool. And then I believe this is Ultimate Carnage. Diggs is probably screaming into his headphones now. It's something else. But I mean, how cool does that look? I am all about that. I mean, I know Adam's been critical of the art department recently, but you cannot knock that. I mean, looks incredible, and will look great in the symbiotes. I don't know what the swirl above the head is about, though. I don't know if that's got any significance. If you know, please get in touch. You know, via all the usual social media platforms, that'd be great. But yeah, who do you want to see come to the game, like costume wise? I know they teased a Cyclops costume when they first announced costumes, and it's still not here. I quite like to see that, to be honest. But yeah, and also I'd like to see, when you do change a character's costume, I'd like to see their avatar change for that character. So for example, the Gamora one in the hood, like, you know, when you changed into that costume, that is the new, you know, you get Gamora in the hood whenever you look at her character. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, in early 2022, we usually keep the scope of these previews limited to 6 months ahead, as the content and features mentioned are reasonably reliable targets, but there's something in particular a bit outside of the scope that we can't wait to announce. And this is a new game mode, which funnily enough we were talking about last week. And yeah, we're thrilled to announce that the brand new game mode has started production, and internally we're calling it Project Grand Tournament. We want to create an experience that gives players the opportunity to flex the power of your top teams and use many of the best characters in your roster in new and exciting ways. This mode will test your skills in offense, strategies on defense, and ability to adapt to a shifting battlefield. We want to share some of these details in how we are designing the feature, but do keep in mind that these are subject to change and the final product may look different. So tournament structure. Players get matched into a large group and will take turns fighting each other over the course of a week. Players will battle opponents based on a Swiss system tournament, non-elimination, with multiple rounds. Victory points will be earned and accumulated over multiple rounds and tallied at the end to determine ranks. So this is basically, I believe in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, it's known as Grand Arena. And I do believe there is a video on it next week. What I'll do is, if the guys are unsure about it, we'll cover it all next week and go into it. And yeah, if people have questions and stuff, we can go into it then. But yeah, so in regards to the combat, in the setup phase, players assign several teams on defense into rooms. These teams cannot be used to attack. In the attack phase, players attack the opponent's defending teams, scoring more points for a better performance. To keep things fresh, tournaments will have rotating different rules for the rooms that will affect the offense and defensive teams. So you want to mix up your strategies. So from what I understand, it's kind of similar to Alliance War, but it's a one-man Alliance War. And yeah, kind of similar, I guess. I never played Grand Arena, and I've never played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So all I know is when that game mode came to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, it was an absolutely massive, like, needle in the arm, you know, like boost for, you know, for that community. And it's loved by all. So this will be great for Marvel Strike Force. And by the sound of it, only takes about half an hour, and you can just go to it whenever you want. It's not one of those things like Alliance War where you have to be on at a certain time and all of that. You can play it, you know, whenever you want during the day. So that's good for, you know, people like Diggs, for example, who are super busy at work most of the time and can't always get on. You know, when he's finished, he can sit down, he can relax, and he can get involved in the grand tournament, which for someone like Diggs, especially, who's a very cerebral player, this is his jam. I'm sure he'll be excited about this, you know, getting as high as he can in the tournament mode. Okay, so seasons. Tournaments will be part of a season lasting several months, and all the victory points earned in that time will place players into divisions. The better your division, the better awards you will receive at the end of a tournament. Divisions will contribute to your rank on the global leaderboards. So there you go, massive flex, you know, where are you in the world, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we like that. We're still in the early stages of development, but we intend to work with our players to get early feedback and conduct playtests to ensure that we deliver on experiences that will be challenging and rewarding for all of the contestants. We're also keeping in mind how the time spent in this mode fits with your daily play and how you might streamline other features to compensate it. Now, that's interesting. But they're aware of screen time, and obviously now that a lot of people have gone back to work, I'm sure numbers have dropped a little bit. So keeping people on the app is probably, you know, a priority, but people's playtime, obviously people can't play as much. Yeah, it's good to hear the words like streamline features to compensate, you know, that's great. Yeah, so the summary is, to wrap it up for this preview, we're working on even more updates and improvements, and we will continue to keep you updated on the status of the topics in our weekly updates that we publish every Friday here on our website. Those posts really are the best way to stay on top of the latest news and previews. We greatly appreciate all the support from the players have given us. We're committed to providing the best gaming experience possible, and we look forward to playing along with you in 2021, 22, and beyond. And that is the end of that blog post. So I know there is some bad, but there's also a lot of good. They're aware of some of their mistakes and issues, and they are, you know, they're looking forward, you know, to making changes. You know, like I say, like, you know, if you just skim through it, there's stuff here that will keep people playing. I do understand the Gear Tier 16 thing for Dark Dimension 5, but again, for a lot of mid to end game players, that's not even in our sights yet. And by the time we reach it, they'll, you know, people will probably be upset about Dark Dimension 6. So I understand the ire and anger from a lot of content creators. I do get it, but like, I don't know, sometimes I don't think they see the forest through the trees. Through the grand scheme of things, you know, people are gonna, the common less engaged players are gonna be like, oh cool, another Dark Dimension, I look forward to getting there when I do. Yeah, what can you do? I think sometimes it's you know, I understand why people are upset, but I don't know, let's try and move forward together, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Alliance for improvements, like, look, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do there. It is in need of some love, and yeah, I look forward to see what they do. Any improvements to the economy is great, and all of these quality of life improvements, dude, I see no wrong in any of these. Auto basic, amazing. You know, even things like sorting by character level, like, I'm all about that. Costumes I can take or leave, to be perfectly honest. Like, I mean, you know, some of them are gorgeous and I will grind for them, but you know, I think the only way you're going to get the community to care about costumes is by giving them trait bonuses or costume bonuses or something like that. You know, like if you have all of your astonishing X-Men wearing the same, you know, X-Men suit or whatever, so they all match, you get a slight bonus or something. I think that's how you're going to get people to care about it. But they said they weren't going to do that. So yeah. And yeah, so look, I'm all about that. I'm all about this second half preview. I'm happy it's here, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we go, you know, in the next 6 months. Okay, right. So let's move on to Friday's blog post. They said pay attention to the blog posts, and that's what we do here at 4Place. So let's get into it. So August 6th, 2021, Death and Mayhem. Very bright title there. Lovely. So greetings, Commanders. Mojo's another exciting season of Mayhem coming your way soon. And this week, we're revealing the big updates arriving in Season 9. But don't touch that dial, because we're also spilling the strike-issued beans on our store updates, a returning legend, mutant blitzes, and everything to whip your skill military team into shape. Now hit the lights and raise the curtain. It's showtime. So, Mojo's Mayhem updates. This action-packed 9th season of Mojo's Mayhem is set to begin soon, and the newest season features a full moon of updates. Please note that the next season will be starting in about a week later than usual, August 13th. And here's what's beaming straight from Mojo Studios to your mobile device. So the updates they've made: we've made improvements to the objectives and ban system in an effort to promote more competitive matches, encourage theory crafting, and reduce the overall time spent on real-time arena matches. Good. First up, we've removed daily and weekly ability objectives to increase the focus of battles on knockouts. Let her rip in battle this season and go for the knockout instead of being concerned with how many abilities have been used. Brilliant. Thank you very much. On the ban system front, you'll see multiple rotations of bans each week in order to keep the character selection process fresh. Additionally, bans will incorporate roles: Protector, Brawler, Blaster, Controller, Support, and Origins, Bio, Mutant, Mystic, Tech, and all that good stuff. So that's cool. I mean, if you could just ban Infinity Watch for a couple of months, that'd be fantastic. I'm done with them. But yeah, the featured character this month, moving into the featured character reward slot for the upcoming season, is Moon Knight. Awesome. Crush your ratings goals and don't miss out on shards for Shadowlands Vessel of Vengeance. Dude, I'm all about that. All about Shadowland, all about Moon Knight. So yeah, that's great. More stars. Yes, please. And okay, there's also strike time in this blog post. I'll include the link for it in the description below. And strike time was featuring the new character Deathpool. So don't miss the latest episode of Strike Time, which features Cerebro interviewing one of the creators of Deathpool. Tune in for the lowdown on this Teen Reaper's powerful kit, along with the inspiration and backstory for Marvel Strike Force's original contribution to the Deadpool nerdy 30th anniversary. So I won't obviously I won't play the video. I'll include the link for it down in the show notes if you're listening to this. Yeah, and basically it's a brand new character that I believe they've designed and is now canon. So by the sound of it, Deathpool's going to appear in comics and stuff moving forward, which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, pretty excited about that. She looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, I bet Diggs is losing his mind. I mean, anything to do with Deadpool, he's all about. Adam's probably like, who is she? But yeah, watch Strike Time, guys. Definitely worth a watch. Very good episode. And yeah, let's just jump into her kit because it is ridiculous. So traits: Hero, Cosmic, Mystic, Brawler, New Warriors. So that's the new team coming to the game. And we discussed potentially a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about so you know, Astonishing X-Men is like the mutant team that they've pushed to be like, you know, use these guys for raids. Symbiotes arguably for bio. Potentially Deathpool and New Warriors could be the Mystic side of things, but who knows? We're yet to see yet. But you know, this is the first character they've announced that's coming to the game. They remember last week we discussed four new characters coming. This is character one. We thought it was Lady Death, which is effectively Deadpool's missus, from what I understand. But yeah, instead we get Deathpool. Looks awesome. Let's go. So her basic: Fatal Flourish. Clear all negative effects on this character. If negative effects are removed, heal self for 5% per negative effect removed. Heal self for 10% of max health. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 300 plus damage and clear deathproof. Flip stealth and speed up on primary and adjacent targets. And if the enemy is a minion, attack that enemy for 600% damage instead. Outrageous. And this attack cannot be blocked. Now that is a pretty mean basic. Yeah, does a lot. I mean, good luck minions. 600% damage. It's crazy. Special Dance Macabre. So energy cost 5/5. Transfer all negative effects from this character to the primary target. Ridiculous. Attack primary target for 300% damage. Attack all adjacent targets for 270% damage. Heal 10% health from primary and adjacent targets and redistribute to all Mystic allies. Oh man, yeah, dude, this is definitely, this New Warriors team is definitely like going to be needed for like the Mystic raids and Doom and stuff like that. They have to all be Mystic. Anyway, spread all negative effects from the primary target to all adjacent targets. This will not spread stun. Cool. Ultimate: reap what you sow. Energy. I love all of the you know, death and sort of scythe-based puns. But ultimate 3/3. So that's tiny. So clear deathproof from primary target. Awesome. Attack primary target for 500% damage and apply 2 bleeds for 2 turns. then gain +1 charged up to a maximum of 5, gain 5,000 extra focus for this attack. Okay, and if at a maximum charged, attack primary target for an awful lot of piercing instead, clear their charge, and then this attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. That's a ridiculous ultimate, and it's cheap. We like that. So their passive, probably should have done this first, so apologies. Death comes for all. On enemy death, heal self for 10% of max health and attack the most injured enemy for 300%, and clear 3 positive effects. In raids, on spawn, gain +1 charge up to a maximum of 5. On spawn, fill speed bar by 10%, +5% for each mystic ally. On enemy death, generate 1+ ability energy for 2 random mystic allies or self. Oh my god. Gain +5 drain on each charged on this character. Sorry, gain 5% drain for each charged on this character. Mystic allies gain 10% drain and gain 20% max health. New warrior allies gain 20% max health. All right, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the other new warriors, but dude, like, yeah, this is your mystic team for the Doom raid. It just is unbelievable. I can't wait to see. I mean, obviously, there's how they intend the character to work, how it works, and all of that. So I can't wait to get my hands on this character. She looks awesome, and I believe she is going to be a campaign event. So hold on to your cause, guys, and go nuts for her, because I mean, I'm not going to say she's as OP as Kestrel, but she's definitely up there. Yeah, there's some ridiculous stuff in that kit, man. Okay, can't wait to hear what Diggs thinks about it. I'll have to ask him next week. Payday update. Some of you keen observers may have noticed that the most recent run of Payday event has updated amounts of gold for both the first time and recurring rewards. This update unintentionally went out a little early, which is why you didn't see any messaging in game or in the blog. To help newer players power up their rosters faster, we increased the first time rewards for a short-term gold payout. To infuse more gold into the economy long-term for all players, the repeatable rewards will also receive a nice bump, especially in the higher tiers. Yes, they do. I talked about it earlier. All this in conjunction with the additional 2 million gold added to the monthly log-on calendars to help get more gold into your hands. So be sure to log on every day and take advantage of the updated Payday rewards to get more gold than ever each month. So yeah, I mean, mercenaries are now a big priority for people. You know, if you're stuck on gold, you know, work on 5 mercenaries, and yeah, get a 7-star merc team, because you know, if you're struggling for gold, this is a great way to get it. Okay, yeah, it's monthly, but I mean, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, character availability. Get your hands on more shards and red stars for 2 high-profile characters with the upcoming store updates. Kestrel character shards are available for purchase for power cores in the supply store, and from now until August 9th, she'll have an increased appearance rate of 20%. Take advantage during this period to collect more shards for one of Strike's founders. And then on August 12th at 5, Sharon Carter is moving into the Elite store. Be on the lookout for your chance to increase her red stars using the silver and gold promotion credits. Yeah, Sharon Carter going in the Elite store is fine. I've got no qualms with that. I don't know about this. Kestrel character shards are available for purchase of power cores in the supply store. Now, I mean, they've deliberately not said that she's available for 450 power cores, which is daylight robbery. I'm not doing it. You know, if you need 5 Kestrel shards, I get it, you know, to take it to the next tier level or whatever. But, you know, I don't know. It just feels dirty, man. I'm not throwing 450 cores at Kestrel every time I need 5 shards. That's pretty gross. I don't know how other people feel about it, but me personally, that's a big no-no. All right, so focusing on the returning legendary event, Thanos' infamous General Ebony Maw returns on August 9th at 5 p.m. PDT for his legendary event, the Black and Ebony. So for a shot at the Black Order's legendary support, you must assemble a team consisting of Black Bolt and 4 other Inhumans. And just in case you haven't run into the Black Order team on the battlefield, a complete Black Order team grants Thanos all 6 Infinity Stones and empowers Thanos with new abilities. So that's great. Ebony Maw's back. I don't think any of us are going to be getting him 7-star this time round, but I think we're all going to work to get our Inhumans up. if you are looking for a guide to get Ebony Moore, I'll include that in the description box below. I've done a guide on it, how to get Ebony Moore. And yeah, I'm going to have to redo those videos at some point, because now Yo-Yo is available in the raid store and is actually a viable character for that team. So yeah, definitely worth doing. Yeah, Ebony Moore, awesome character. Go get him. Run, don't walk. Okay, upcoming blitzes for my blitzing homies. Let's go. Add the power of the X gene during this week's mutant blitzes. On August 9th at 5 p.m, the Big Boom Blitz explodes onto the scene and gives you the opportunity to earn Negasonic Teenage Warhead shards while thumping enemies in battle. Now, that's awesome for Diggs, because he recently got her in our game of MSF roulette. So I bet he's very happy about that. And yeah, obviously, Negasonic Teenage Warheads, a vital part if you want to unlock Dr. Octopus. So, you know, if you haven't got a 5-star, go absolutely mental in this blitz. Get her up to 5 stars so you can farm Dr. Octopus. Yeah, awesome. Then we transition from booms to beams on August 12th. As Cyclops is up next in the X-Leader Blitz. Cut through enemy teams like a hot laser through butter and scoop up shards for this powerful, uncanny X-Men blaster. That's cool. That's awesome. Again, Cyclops is great. That uncanny X-Men team has fallen off a little bit, but once you have Phoenix, you know, their combo is awesome. I'm a massive Cyclops fan anyway, so I'll blitz hard. I need to get him up to 7 stars just because he's my guy. So yeah, pretty cool week of blitzes. I'm not going to go crazy like I normally do. This weekend's been an experience grinding for Maria Hill. So yeah, awesome stuff. Bonus and flash events. Start prepping for Ebony Moore's arrival with the upcoming Terrigan Storm bonus event on August 8th at 5 p.m. Bolster your Inhumans with 2x shard rewards in campaign nodes. Filter your roster by Inhuman to view all the eligible characters and the locations. So you can farm Karnak, Quake, and Miss Marvel. They're the 3 that you can farm. So there'll be double drops on Karnak, Quake, and Miss Marvel. So yeah, if you're looking to get an Ebony Moore, they're the 3 characters you need to pay attention to. And yeah, so yeah, filter your roster by Inhuman to view all of the eligible characters. So yeah, awesome stuff. And on August 13th at 5 p.m, PDT, the Back to Boot Camp Flash event returns, which rewards your skill military characters with tons of training modules for clobbering enemies. Bolster your boot camp troops on August 12th with the Double Trouble Time bonus event, which rewards double character shards for your skill military characters. Filter your roster by the term skill and military to see who's eligible and where to find their shards. Skill military are vital if you want those training modules. So yeah, make sure you go for it. And yeah, we'll see where we are there. I mean, that's great. It's a pretty good blog post. Lots of stuff going on. Like I say, I'll include the link for the strike time for the Dawn of Deathpool. She looks like a fantastic character. There was also a previous blog post entitled Mortem with a Mouth, and yeah, basically just discussing sort of the relationship between, like, the love triangle between Lady Death, Thanos, and Deadpool. There he is. Nuts. So yeah, worth a read as well. You know, there's some good stuff, and yeah, we've got the 30th anniversary of Deadpool coming up as well, so maybe they will do something for it. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Happy birthday, Deadpool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the blog, guys, and for the Marvel Strike Force podcast this week. If there's anything you guys want to discuss, don't forget to drop it down in the YouTube comments below. There'll be a description in the show notes for that. If you are listening to this on any of your podcast services, and we do deeply appreciate your support, so thank you very much. So yeah, please remember, guys, to rate and review this podcast however you consume it, and don't forget to follow or subscribe. If you want to ask us a question for next week, drop it down in the YouTube comments. Like I say, link in the description if you are listening. And thanks a lot for checking us out, and we will catch you all next week. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, or listening, and good luck, Commanders. Boom.